Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Right now, here, teaching English foreign language. Here, I want to present it about integrating the four skills. Okay, more than six decades, the English language teachings that has divided four skills. Okay, as we know that there are four skills in English language. The first is listening, reading, writings, and speakings. Okay, I will show you the examples one. Okay, the first one in the reading class. Okay, the first step is a pre-reading discussion of the topic to activity schemata. The second step is listening to the lecture or series of informative statements about the topic of pages to be read. Next is focus on a certain reading strategy, say scannings. Last, writing a paraphrase of a section of the reading passage. Okay, we can see that we use some of integrated skills. We use some of the reading skills, we use listening skill, and we use some of writing skill for paraphrase the reading passage. The next one. Okay, the next this is some of nodal some of the class using some integrated skills. Okay, because what some of the argue that integration of the four skill diminishes of the importance of the rules of listening, reading, and writing. They are unique to each separated skills. One in the pre-communicative language teaching, or CLT, days of the language teaching, the focus on the form of language almost predisposed curriculum designer to segment course into the separated language skills. Next, administrative considerations still make it easier programmed spread course in the reading and speaking and so on. As glance at current intensive and university English rivals. Okay, the next one is which lead to the third reason that nodal classes are integrated. There are certain specific purpose or which students are studying English that may best be labeled one of the four skills, especially the highest intermediate to the advanced levels. Okay, next, how can maintain an integrated skill focus in your teaching? This is the answer. There are five models of integrated skill approach in your teachings for integrated skills. The first, content-based interaction, or we can call CBI. The second one, TBI, theme-based interaction, experiential learning, the episode hypothesis, and test-based teachings. Okay, all of them, they all pull the direct attention of the student away from spontaneous of the skill of language and toward the meaningful purposes for which we use language. Okay, this is the definition CBI, content-based interaction. Okay, according to Britton, Snow, and Wezes, is the integration of content learning with language teaching aim. More specifically, it's referred to the concurrent study of language and subject matter with the form of sequence of language presentation dedicated content materials. Okay, TBI, theme-based interaction. There are two versions here. The first is strong version and the second one is weak version. In the strong version, the primary purpose of the course is to instruct student in the subject matter era, and language is of secondary of subordinative interest. The weak version actually very practical and very effective in many interactional settings. Okay, the next one is experiential learnings. In experiential learning, closely related in the overlapping content-based and theme-based interaction is the concept of experiential language learning. Experiential learnings include activities that engage both left and right brain processing, that categorize language, that integrated skills, and that point toward authentic, real world purpose. Okay, the next. Okay, episode hypothesis. Text discourse is from will be easier to reproduce, understand, and recall to the extent that is structured episodally. By this means that the presentation of language is enhanced if students receive interconnected sentence in interest provoking episode rather than its disconnected series of the sentence. Okay, the last is test-based teachings. Test-based interaction is not new method, rather input task in the center of one methodological focus. It views that learning process of the set of communicative tasks that are directly linked to the curricular goals they are served, the purpose of which extend beyond of the practice of language for its own sake. Okay, this is 5 strategies in integrated for skills. Let's talk about content-based interaction. There are four of some example in content-based interaction. The first one is immersion program for elementary school children. Okay, this is need some of the student to communicate with another student, not their friends, about some of the problems, and they will be discussed. This is immersion program in for elementary school children. The next one is sheltered English program, mostly found at elementary and secondary schools levels. Sheltered English program is interactional approach to make academics interaction in English understandable to student. Okay. The third one is writing across the curriculums, where the writing skill in secondary school and university are taught within subject matter like biology, history, art, and others. Okay, the next one is English for specific purpose, or we can say ESP. Okay, the example one for engineering, agriculture, or medicine, technique, or other. Exactly, just only specifics. The next one is the major principle underlying both themed and content-based interaction are automaticity, meaningful learnings, intrinsic motivation, communicative competence. These principles are solved by teams interaction and or by courses that are successfully able to get students excited and interested in some topic, issue, idea, or this is some activities the team-based interaction what you can use in your teachings. The first one is use environmental statistic or fact for classroom reading, writing, discussion, and debate. Okay, you don't have to look for very far for find information about environment areas, crisis, research on the issue, and the pointer what the individual can do for stall a global disaster. Here are some things students can do with some of materials. Okay, I will give you some of the examples one about the materials. Don't look for not so far about the politics, education, or other. Like example for the beginner. Okay, for the beginner we can say for introduction we can use for travel, we can talk about others, we can talk about some of the place do you like. Okay, this is some of the areas for the student beginner. Then we can say don't, we can say vocabulary don't, we can upgrade about the knowledge of the student and others. Okay, this is environment study and fact for classroom reading, writing, discussion, debate. The next one is career research and writing projects. When your ESL syllabus calls for the research project is intrinsically motivating excitement is the research and environment topic. Libraries, bookstore, newsstand, television, radio, and political are fruitful source information. Okay. One is have students create their own environmental awareness materials, our materials. Okay. where you are teaching adult or children beginning or advanced student, you can get a great deal of language of the content material of language aspirant approach. Okay. The next one is range field trick. The last one is conduct simulation experiential learnings. Okay, this one the learner is directly in touch with the realities being studied. Okay, this is they will be shown that in realities practice what the materials. Okay, this one principal episode by the famous American educator John Dewey. One learned best by doing, by active experimentation. B. Inductive learning by discovering active strategies that enable students to take charge of their own learning progress. Okay, I will give you some examples. One. Okay, when our method talk about the direction, about the way how to get some of the places, we can say of the realities they will be practice or make partner, they will make a peer groups practice, then they will do a slide the realities to show some of the direction, some of the places. Okay, this is the examples one. Okay, the next one, this one is some of the strategies of control by the teacher in experiential learning. The first one you can use using props, relative visuals, show and tell session. The next is playing games, which often influence strategy and singing. Utilize media like television, radio, and movies. Episode will do step by step. This one some of the examples want. Jax, hi Tony, what do you usually do in the weekend? This is some of the episode. So this will be easier for a student to understandings. Okay. This one is wondering by the episode habitudes contribute or relates to integrating teacher. Here are some possible ways. Okay. The first is story or episode challenge the teacher and textbook writer to present interesting natural language, whether the language is few or written, discourse or oral. This a pedagogical task designed to teach students to give personal information in job interview. My example one. This is job interviews. Exercise comprehension, we have question or do insertion. Okay, the example, when do you work at Macy's? Variety of authentic source test based teaching. Some of the topic you can use speech for the test. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry if I made a mistake in this presentation. Let's go. See you next time.